All right. So hello everyone and welcome to another AMA. But this one's kind of, I'm going to say special because it is our very first alpha AMA. And yeah, just to give a little bit, background information for the project. So for Tokerr, it was a alpha exclusive sale, which filled yesterday in just a few minutes. So amazing. Very much looking forward to this. And the launch date will be on the 14th of September, just so everyone of the lovely community can, set their alarms. We're going to keep you informed about the launch time as well. Perhaps we will settle on the dates today. We'll see in the AMA. So yeah, we will also be, if things didn't change anyway, we'll be also seeing some of the demos for the factory bot of Tokerr. So yeah, with that being said, thank you very much for joining the AMA. And the floor is all yours. You can start by giving, some background information about the team. And yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So basically, hi guys. Hi GemPad. We're really pleased to be here, and we're happy to be a part of. We're happy to have done our private sale with your alpha group. So a little bit about Tokerr. We all know that the biggest problem with DeFi and investing in DeFi is basically the worry and the stress of getting scammed or getting rugged. And this is just something that everyone worries about. We do a lot of research. We try and find out everything we can about the project, and it happens anyway. So, I mean, there was a point in time recently where a few of us, our team, we've known each other for some time in the space now, and we just decided to get together and be, kind of stand up for this and decide that, this shouldn't be happening. So we saw a lot of our friends getting rugged. We got scammed. It's happened to everybody. I don't think you've really done DeFi unless you've been scammed at least once, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
I think all the guys who made their money also started by getting scammed. So we decided let's do something to change this, So we decided that let's do, I would say, a cache of utilities that we want it to become the go-to for all DEX traders. And these utilities are designed basically to, I would say, level the playing field so that everybody feels much safer. It's much easier to trade. And as we started working on it, we planned a lot of different utilities. The first of them, and probably the most important that will start it off, is the Tokerr factory bot. In layman's terms, it will allow anybody who has the dream of maybe doing a crypto project or launching a token to just easily do it, even if they don't know Solidity and coding and all that stuff. But here's the trick. The beauty of our factory bot, it automatically creates safe contracts with zero malicious functions. So there is no possible way for the creator or the user to rug or scam in any way at all. The liquidity gets locked. There are absolutely no honeypot functions, no rug functions. There's nothing of that sort. So that is inbuilt. So if you launch a token through the factory bot, that is straight up inbuilt. So any token that comes out of the factory bot, investors can be sure that there is no function that the user or the creator can use to scam or to rug that token. So that's straight up safety, which nobody else can guarantee. That's an advantage to everyone. Investors are sure that a token is safe. They get to invest safely, as well as, I would say, developers. It's good for them. I mean, honestly, if people know that a developer has launched a safe token, you're going to have so many more investors automatically because people aren't worried to invest. They can just put money in and go to sleep, And that's the first one. We have a few other utilities also, which is our deploy channel, which will basically be linked to the factory bot. So anything that gets launched through the bot automatically gets shared in the deployer channel. So everyone who's in that channel immediately gets notifications of all the safe tokens that are being launched through Tokerr. And, it's just you get quick access to everything. As soon as a token is deployed through Tokerr, you get it in the channel. We're also working on a sniper bot because, it's not fair that there are so many people who have expensive snipers or who can pay for stuff which a lot of people can't afford, and we just want to see everyone make money and be happy, to be very honest. So the sniper bots that we're actually developing now, it's in the works. Hopefully it'll be ready a couple of weeks after launch at the most, and that'll allow everyone straight through Telegram to be able to snipe any tokens easily, and try and compete with some of the big guys. Another utility that we have in development is the buy bot. So basically, it's like how there are other buy bots and like how use the usual buy bots. This one will be linked to every token deployed through Tokerr. So as soon as there's a buy on any of those tokens, it will get shared in the community TG in our Telegram automatically in the Tokerr community Telegram. So it gets eyes on the token. Everybody who's a part of our community gets to see what's happening with each of the tokens launched through the buy bot, through the Tokerr factory bot, sorry. And it keeps everyone updated. So it forms a little ecosystem where everyone knows what's being launched, who's buying what's happening. And the last is our trading bot, which basically that we're working on also right now. It will allow you to trade as easily as you would trade through an exchange like Binance or anything else. Straight through Telegram, it will create wallets for you. It will allow you to have stop losses and everything else that you find convenient. So you can probably, just buy your tokens, put your stop losses, and go to sleep. And this is like for your shit coins and everything that you get on BSC and elsewhere. We are launching on BSC. We plan to go multi-chain as soon as possible when everything settles down. So that's a basic intro about what Tokerr is all going to be about. And we're going to have a few other things also, which, a part of the funds will be used to buy back and burn Tokerr itself. So that's an advantage to everybody holding Tokerr. A part of the, if you see our light paper, if you check it out, there's a part of the funds from, there's a small percentage from each token that is launched through Tokerr that will also go back to the buyback and burn. So that's another, again, advantage. And we also have something which is for the best devs. So the devs that are highest performing developers through launching through Tokerr, they will also be rewarded because we want to promote good devs. We want to promote safe devs. So that's the whole point of doing that. So that's a little bit about Tokerr.
All right, thank you very much for giving the in-depth presentation about it. Very much looking forward to all of the utilities. Now, I was informed that Switcher is supposed to give a kind of screen sharing of the demonstration for the factory bot. So is this going to take place right now, or do we move on to my questions first? However you guys really like it, it's no problem at all.
I think we can do all the questions first, and then we have a demo right at the end, which will probably be easier as a...
All right, no problem at all. No problem at all. Okay. So yeah, no, the first one is obviously about everything's going to be about the utilities anyway. So the first one will be, I just need to put an emphasis on this first, that I absolutely like the fact that you guys are working for, a better tomorrow in the crypto space. Just like you said, you're not really a trader if you didn't get, rocked in the time that you started with the trading. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this, how you guys are going to better the space. So yeah, allowing the projects to launch a token through your very own Tokerr factory bot. So this is going to be the first question regarding the utility. So I'm curious to know how exactly will that work, because for starters, you guys are trying to implement it on Telegram and Discord only. So how exactly will, if, for example, let's say a dev wants to create a contract with your Tokerr factory bot. So I know we're going to get a demonstration anyway, but just so the community gets a little bit of a feel for this, how exactly will this take place, and how do you get started with setting up a contract with your factory bot?
Okay, you want me to take this, Banana?
Yeah, of course, go for it.
Okay, so for the factory bot, you interact with it through Telegram, and what happens is you give it a whole bunch of parameters. It has a bunch of options for various things, like we'll have the option for multiple different contract types, and basically what happens is the bot, the logic behind the bot feeds this essentially a few arrays of data to my factory contract, and that goes through a bunch of different subcontracts to push to the right one, because we have all these contracts basically deployed on the chain. And we do this for this reason, because it's very easy to upgrade. So if we come up with a new system, for instance, like there's a new cool lottery system going around, and we want to adapt that into a contract, I just create a template, create the factory, link the factory to our split factory, and the bot can do it. The bot just passes in the first slot, it passes a different number and that we figured out. So you pass your taxes through, you pass your max transactions, you pass how much you want to put into liquidity, because that's another aspect of our bot. The instant you deploy it in the very same transaction, it adds liquidity, it locks the liquidity, and it transfers the ownership back to the person who ran the deployment transaction. Now, one really cool aspect of this is it's kind of created itself almost a ultra stealth launch, because we can also have it enable trading there. So literally you can have a launch where no one knows the contract code. No one knows the address. The dev doesn't even know the address until it's created. So you can have a contract live that anyone can buy without anyone knowing the address ahead of time. No friends and family, no bullshit like that. One way it's safe is because we require at least 95% of the token supply going to the liquidity. So what this means is that the owner can only be holding 5% or less. They could put 100% in if they wanted to. But the point is that's going to make it unruggable from that aspect. No team can dump on the chart. 95% of your stuff is going to be locked in liquidity. Adding to the lock, we are, right now it's locked inside the contract, but we are going to implement GemPad's locking system into our bot directly. So you'll be making a locker at the instant of deployment. And we have a minimum lock time, and that lock time starts at enable trading. So you can have you can't play the system by making a day lock time, for instance, and then waiting a day to launching and rugging it. No, when you launch, it's going to enable, it's going to extend the lock time to what you chose, basically. So that goes into how we're a very safe, impossible to rug. Like, I am an actual Solidity dev, not just a dev who copy paste. So I understand exactly all the functions that can go into honeypotting and messing with a coin, even the lesser known ones. Like, for instance, our BNB playing functions are all calls, they're not transfers. And that's because if you make it a transfer and then you make the fee receiving wallet a contract, that's a honeypot. And some people don't realize that that's a simple, small thing. I've seen accidental honeypots from that. So you can't mess with the swap functions enough to make it a honeypot. If you give those things too much figures, they can become it. So we've got all this stuff locked down. Basically, the person after launch is left with a completely safe contract that they can't rug, they can't scam, and they're locked for a minimum amount of time. After deployment, they actually, through our bot itself, they have access to the functions as if they would through BSC scan. So if they want to change taxes within the limits, they can do it right from the bot. If they want to increase max transaction, they can do it right from the bot, things like that. So this is all basically like an instant, it's all in one package. You get a full contract, fully ready to go, your liquidity added in basically under a minute. It's just however long it takes you to put all the stuff in.
All right, that is absolutely amazing. So many features, and you get all of this sorted in just like under or in a minute, anyways. So that's perfect. Now, regarding you also mentioned that you can set your parameters, obviously, for the contract that you will create with your factory bot. So I did while I was reading the white paper. If I understood correctly, I'm just gonna check with you, Carv, because obviously you're gonna have more information than myself. Anyway, so yeah, that you cannot, if you are a dev who wants to create a contract, your token with the factory bot, that you cannot set taxes higher than 15%. Is this like a mandatory, I'm going to say mandatory to have for all of the contracts created with the token? Or for example, if someone were to, I don't know why they would anyway, but if you were to, I don't know, want to have the tax at 16%, are you able to do so? Or is it mandatory that it has to be 15 or lower?
It's mandatory that it's set at what we put it at. Right now we are sticking with that 15. As we go on, we might be able to find reasons to increase that. Like if someone wanted to make buy tax 0 and sell tax 20, for instance. And there could be ways of doing that. And we have a way of, there's a variable that tells the buy tax plus the sell tax. So we can make that the limit in that case. But right now, yes, it's at 15%. So all your taxes added up together can't be more than 15%. Your max wallet can't be less than 0.5%. Can't be greater than 4%, I believe, just because you can't you can't screw with having a ridiculous amount of supply of one wallet. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of those little functionalities that go into it. And one thing I also didn't address with the creation aspect is we're also including our custom antibot with every contract. There's the option to make that, we can make that optional, but the thing is I have a custom written antibot. It's its own contract. So the factory contract itself would deploy an antibot contract, link it to your deployed contract, and that prevents multi-wallets, that prevents snipers. It's quite effective, as people can attest to, and I've got numerous angry DMs from snipers that kind of got caught by it. So that is another aspect. And I mean, the antibot itself could almost be sold as a utility by alone, but we are putting it in the bot because that's part of making the space safer. We want to enable launches to be on level ground. We want to enable like the average person to be able to buy our launch and know that the bots are not going to wreck it with the multi-wallets, the snipers early, the snipe and dumps. We want to make it so everyone is a level playing field.
All right, that is absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for clarifying that. And before we do move on to to the additional questions for other utilities you guys have prepared for releasing in the future, I actually have a very simple question because again, I also put an emphasis on the fact that I like how you want to make the DeFi space better. And the question here is simple. Now we already know why you decided to do so. But I want to know a little bit of, I guess, background information, how exactly you guys decided on the idea. Like, were you just one day chatting and were like, yeah, we would definitely want to do something to, to help the investors out so no one would get rocked or something. Some background information, how you all started with the idea. That would be perfect.
Jordy, that one would be for you because you kind of approached me with the idea.
All right, Jordy, you are unmuted.
All right, I will take his place in answering this question. I'm Switcher from Tokerr team. Since I was like one of the first with Jordy to start the idea, we've seen like a lot of scams that are ruining BSC for the last month, since the last year. I've been in BSC since like 2021, and all the team has been here for like more than a year or maybe or 2 years. And we've noticed that a lot of a big part of the volume going down in BSC, that people are afraid of buying tokens. New developers can't even access the market because all of us were new developers at some point of BSC. New developers can't access the market. There is a lot of mafias. There is a lot of like big devs. People only buy from big devs because they can't trust other projects. That's point one. Point two, we've noticed like the people cheating fast in BSC because they don't know, is this dev gonna scam? Is this dev gonna rug? So a lot of good devs that don't have like really big names, having problem with making their people hold. People are afraid. What if I sleep for 2 hours, take a nap, and the developer rug or make a honeypot? So we thought, how can we fix this problem? How can we make people hold more? How can we give developers a way to get into BSC, to be known more, to have like more people know about them, to get into first step into entering BSC, and in the meantime making sure that even when a token goes big, the devs' intentions don't change, because we've seen a lot of legit devs that had great projects. They want to big market caps and then they rug it. No, we thought we need to fix this. We need a safe place for BSC. We need some place where new developers can come in and can figure out how to start without having to pay like developer to code their contract, or without getting into those like people that ask them thousands to start. There is some people that are approaching new developers and even charging them a lot of money just to start, because if you don't go to big color, nobody gonna push for you, nobody gonna tell you that you are safe. So I've talked with Jordi. We've seen some like scams happen and stuff, and Alpaca, and we thought of this idea, Tokerr deployer bot, that can make things safer, that gives incentives to developers to start in the legit way. The first idea was just a deployer bot, no safe things. But when we addressed all those problems, we had the idea: why not make safe Launchpad, safe place that people are assured, no more that fear, no more that food. If someone foods, you get certificate. We thought this idea, we developed it, we contacted Karth to get the contract. He liked the idea. He said, I'm gonna join the team. Then we got some other guys that have some real experience in marketing and developing and design and stuff. And we started working on it for 2 months. We started the contract, the bot, add new ideas, figured out the plan for the next month. And that's how our journey started exactly. That's how it did. I hope I answered that question good.
Yeah, you answered that question fairly well. You gave all the useful information, and you were very detailed about it, which I always appreciate. Thank you very much. Now, all right, since we did get some useful information regarding that topic, we're going to move on to the other utilities that you guys have planned to release in the future, like we already brushed upon. So the next one is the Sniper bot. So not much information that I could find on white paper regarding the Sniper bot, just, the facts that it's going to be fairly simple to use, which is, always a good thing. And also the fact that you're going to have to hold a specific amount of Tokerr tokens for the utility to be able to be used from your side. So did you guys already decided on the minimum amount of tokens you have to hold for you to be eligible to use the Sniper bot, or is this something that's in discussion as of now?
Well, our first idea of that we think we are going to go in that idea is people who hold a certain amount of tokens that we didn't decide yet, but we'll decide pre-launch, is people who hold a certain amount of tokens get to use the bot without any fees. So you hold like an X amount of token, you use the bot for free, no fees. It's like you are using MetaMask or anything, but on Telegram and faster and no fees. And for people who are not holding Tokerr, we are going to use to take 1% or 0.5% fees. We didn't decide on that yet. Also, for each transaction they make, and that would go into the Tokerr chart and into developing more utilities. That's how we plan to do the Sniper bot ecosystem. That's how plan.
All right, so essentially everyone will be able to use it. It just depends on the additional fees you have, I guess, included here. Yeah, that's fair. I like the concept behind that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, everyone. Yeah, go ahead, Switcher.
No, sorry. Okay, sorry. That's some point I forgot to mention. Giving the bot for free with a certain percentage gives Tokerr free marketing. People talk about the bot, people will refer their friends to it, and it will give us free marketing for our token. That's what I want to say.
All right, that's perfect. Yeah. Okay. Now, if we move on to the next utilities that you have planned, it's the deployer channel. So before I do ask the question regarding the deployer channel, I just want to say that it just seems like an easy, straightforward way for everyone who wants to be, I guess, on top of all the launches that are created with your factory bots. That it's just simple. It's something that alerts you as fast as it can, and it's an amazing thing to have and to be on top of. And with that being said, are you also planning on adding the bots to? If I understood correctly, it's going to be a bot that will be in your main Telegram, or is this something that you're also planning on creating? I guess its own dedicated channel, because I guess it would be more cleaner that way. So yeah.
Yeah, so we have the
But then I think you're kind of lagging a bit. Your connection is not as stable as.
All right. Let me answer that question. I think Banana
All
has
right,
some
Switcher. Yeah, exactly.
internet
No
lag.
problem, Switcher. Go on
Yeah.
ahead, no problem at all.
So can you please like summarize it again, because if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
for sure. For sure. It's no problem at all. All right. So regarding the deployer channel, I just said it's a great way of being on top of things and all the launches that will be created with your factory bot. So if I understand correctly, it's gonna be a bot that will be used in your main Telegram. But I was also curious to know if you're planning on getting the bot his own dedicated channel. So kind of an announcement channel that you will be able to be on top of all the, I guess, listings created with the factory bot. So every contract that gets created here.
Yeah. We are doing two things. One is done, and the second will be done like by tomorrow for the new tokens announcement. The first thing we've done is a channel. People can subscribe to that channel, and each time a new token is deployed on Tokerbot, you get notification, a post that has the deployer ID. So even if he changes his username, you can trace him back. Also, you have the username, you have the deployer name, and the certificate of that token also that guarantees it's safe. Also, the contract, so you can make sure if the dev like changes the contract after launch or something. Also, the total fees for buying and selling. Also, the initial liquidity pool. And other info that the dev will add. So every info the dev chose, every parameters the dev had set in his token creation will be forwarded to that channel. And we are also developing a bot that will also send it each time there is a new contract deployed. It will be sent to the main chat. So even people that are not subscribed to the channel or something like that can see it. And as well, for the buy bot, as I said, we are planning for the buy bot. Any transaction that is bigger than a set amount that we decide, like 1 BNB or 2 BNB, in any of our any tokens deployed on our bot, will be forwarded to the main chat, so people can see the tokens that are doing good. So in the meantime, we're giving the investors, people in BSC, a list of the tokens that are deployed. We also give those developers kind of like an initial marketing push, if you get me.
All right, yeah, that sounds perfect. That's always, good to have and good to hear. So regarding the bot, as you did kind of brushed upon, it's the I am, by the way, a huge fan of this the rating between 1 to 5 that every developer gets while creating a contract with your factory bot. So I'm kind of curious to know what are all of the parameters and I guess requirements that decide upon giving you a higher or lower score. So that will be 1 to 5.
All right. So for the 1 to 5, it will be set manually by the team members, depending on your previous projects. So checking the previous project, if he's dev that pushes his projects, or if he's just for some quick cash grab. We check also for his work, like if his dev is doing good work, is pushing his project, doesn't like make 1 hour, 2 hours token and then let it die. He gets a better rate. And devs that are just doing some poor tokens, just making quick grab, they get low rate. So people now, the developers that they are trusted with their money, and also now how long they should hold that token, how long they should, and how much they should trust the dev. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's perfect because, like you said at the start, you guys are again working for I'm gonna say a brighter tomorrow, for a better future for the investors. So it's so nice that you have all of the utilities ready that will for sure help decide investors on I guess on which project they are able to even put their investment or money in. So it's definitely good to have so many parameters that at the end of the day you can decide on something that is for sure safe and will, get you some gains, I'm going to say. So that is perfect. And yeah, regarding all of the utility questions, we're kind of done with this. Just, I guess, an additional question from my end before we do open up the floor to the community's questions, and that's it could be a very simple one or a very hard one. It all depends on the, I guess, development process that you guys had. So I'm going to say it's pretty simple nonetheless, but I imagine that, once you create your project and all of the utilities that you're developing for, of course, not a short amount of time anyway, it usually brings you some obstacles along the way. So the question here is, what were some of the biggest obstacles that you guys faced while, creating all of the utilities and the Tokerr project, and how did you manage to fix them?
Well, to be honest, we didn't face much problems. Like this may sound like not correct info, but honestly, we have a really coherent team. We have a team that every member has a role, exact role, and every member knows what he's doing. That we know each other. We know how everyone work. So we really didn't face many problems. Not honestly, to be honest, I can't remember any problem we faced. We took our time. We didn't rush things. We worked for this on this for more than a month. We took things slowly. We had some maybe I maybe had some errors in the code to fix, some problem like that. Nothing else. And all it was fixed. We have connected team, a current team that knows what to do and knows what to expect from everything. To be honest.
All right, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's a really good answer.
Yeah, if I can you hear me, Renand?
Yeah, Banana, you're good to go now.
Yeah, so if I can just add to that, the thing is, at least more than half of our team, actually most of our team, we've known each other for more than a year in this space, some of us. So we've spent a lot of time together, getting rugged and making money and all of that. So, I mean, it's just that everyone has their expertise. A lot of people, I haven't spoken about the team yet, so I'll take the chance to. You've already seen Karth. He's an expert in cybersecurity and pro in Solidity, and he's been a dev for very long now. And probably, I'm not being partial, but one of the most brilliant guys I know personally. And it's always a pleasure working with him. Switcher also, again, absolutely brilliant, full of ideas. He's been working on all our bots and he's done a brilliant job. The rest are members of our team, very experienced marketers. We have people who handle projects that have hit 2 million, 4 million, one of them 48 million, 10 million. So, there's a lot of experience. We're from all different parts of the world. So everyone has their expertise. Me personally, I've been in the crypto space since early 2021. But before that, I've spent 10 years handling, actually running real life businesses internationally. So we all have our own experience, expertise, all of that, and we get along really well. So the ideas have been bounced off. Everything's been very smooth, other than like Switch has had a few errors in code and stuff like that to be fixed. Other than that, it's been pretty smooth sailing so far. Hopefully it stays this way.
All right, that is perfect. Yeah, it can for sure be seen that you guys are, experts and a very professional team, and you didn't even run into any big troubles, which is, always a great sign. So very happy to hear that. And with that, I have concluded my questions. Thank you very much for giving all of the useful information that I personally was, curious to know more about. So thank you for that. And if it's okay with you, we're going to open up the floor to the community's questions now.
Of course, we'd love to take questions from everyone.
All right, awesome. And we are starting the party off with Sujay. Sujay, welcome. You may ask your question now.
Hello, Ray. Hello, Lens. Hello, Crypto Banana. Hey, all right. So my question is around the anti-sniper, anti-bot function that you're going to implement for contracts that are launched through your platform. Is that is the concept there to blacklist the initial blocks of the chain? Is that how you're going to implement it?
It's a little more complicated than that, because that wouldn't take care of the main threat, which are the multi-wallet bots. So if you look at, I've done a bunch of post-launch analysis on coins and stuff, and taken the CSV printouts of launches, taking a look at when these wallets buy. They buy when they know the blacklist is gone. They buy when they know the dead blocks are gone. And what they do is they buy like 20 wallets or 10 plus wallets. They buy a ton of wallets, and sometimes it's in the same transaction. Sometimes it's in multiple transactions via a script. And they buy all these wallets and they buy them low, and then they dump them as the chart goes up. And multi-wallet bots kill tokens. I see it all the time. It's crappy to watch because it's an unfair advantage that most people don't have. And not only that, it ruins the spirit of DeFi. So this anti-bot is constantly running, and there are certain factors that all multi-wallet transactions share. I'm not going to go into details because they'd be able to reverse engineer some of the ways I could stop them. But suffice it to say that I don't accidentally catch people. No one has come back to me and actually shown that it was a legit transaction. All these transactions of multi-wallet bots, however they do it, scripted or in the same transaction, they all have certain characteristics in the core assembly of the transaction, the actual like basic global variables. There's stuff you can't change. There's stuff you can't hide. And so this is always active, and it's preventing them. It's stopping them. It's blacklisting them because I don't want them in our tokens. I don't want them around. I would prefer they stay out, but the problem is you can't block them from buying without triggering a whole bunch of honey-bot detectors, stuff like that. So I'd rather they just not buy instead of having to blacklist them, but that's what we do. We blacklist them. It's all auto. All my blacklists are auto. There's no way I can point to a wallet and say, hey, you're blacklisted. It's all automatic. I have one anti-blacklist function, which is a one-way unblacklists. It's clear in the code that you can see that. And we want these people just to stay out personally, but if we have to, I'm going to just stop them from selling and then burn their tokens.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because I recently came across a project that is developing or already has a sniper bot, which can actually detect the blacklisted initial blocks and then sort of get around it by introducing a delay in its buy. So yeah, just blacklisting the initial few blocks doesn't really keep the bots out. So a follow-up to that is then with your sniper bot, your own sniper bot, how does it deal with, is it only going to be usable on the contracts that are deployed through your platform, or is it a general purpose sniper bot that I can use elsewhere too?
It's a general purpose bot, and actually the way I hope it gets used is to be used more for just buying quickly or buying dips, because it can't snipe our own projects. That's the thing.
Right.
Against our own sniper, and the point is just to put people on a level playing field, because I personally use snipers to buy dips. I use snipers to buy quickly because it's a pain in the ass to try to mess with slippage settings and stuff like that when you want to buy quickly a token. I have one of my snipers hooked up to a Telegram channel. I just paste my contract address in and buy it quickly. So we want to provide that to people rather than we're not setting this up that, hey, you can buy our token and snipe our launches. That's not a thing. Our launches will not be snipeable by ourselves.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Just one last thing. Do you have like a beta testing kind of thing going on where potential investors can participate and try the sniper bot out?
That's more of a question for Switcher, because it is fully working, but I don't know if we're beta testing it yet. We're going to demo it in this at the end of this, I believe. But as far as letting people try it, I don't know how close Switcher is ready for that. I'll pass that off to him.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. For the sniper bot or for the factory bot?
For the sniper bot.
For the sniper bot, I already worked on sniper bot for the last 2 months, and we finished a great deal for it. We finished a great deal for it. We still linking it to Telegram more, We have like beta. I tested it. It's working fine, but it's not up yet for beta testing for other people. As I still have to edit some stuff. There is some exceptions I need to handle. There is some errors I need to fix on it. But we are expecting the sniper bot to be up for beta testing in 2 to 3 weeks after launch.
Okay, perfect. Yep. Thank you so much for answering my question. Sorry for taking the extra time. Thanks,
Welcome, man.
All right, CJ, thank you very much for asking the questions. And we are moving on to Saad Hitman. Hello and welcome to the AMA. You may ask your question now.
Hello, boss.
Hey.
Yeah, good afternoon, big man. How are you doing?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm all right. And welcome, Tokerr. I think it's Tokerr, right?
It's
yeah,
Tokerr.
yeah, correct.
All right. Welcome, guys. Very interesting project. Yeah, at least I feel happy seeing that somebody or some people are actually interested in trying to fix a lot of things for we noobs in the space. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Matt.
Yeah, so I have a couple of questions here, starting with, you said you'll be putting 95% of your raised resources from yourself to the liquidity pool, right? And you actually explained a little reason why you want things to kind of not dump quickly and not pump quickly to actually kind of help stabilize the chart. But then I really want to understand where your further development of the ecosystem, at least before you start getting traction. I really want to know where those resources will be coming from and where you'll be taking care of yourself as well for now.
No, I think, Karth, I think you should take that. He's probably asking about the 95% tokens locked in for tokens launched through Tokerr.
It sounded like he was asking about like our general funds.
Yeah, so that's not our tokenomics. If you see our tokenomics from our private table, we have about 50 BNB going into liquidity, and 30 BNB is going to be used for our current marketing and development that we're doing right now, and the rest will come through, of course, the wallets, when marketing wallet, etc. When Tokerr launches, and when people do launch tokens through Tokerr. The 95% that Karth was talking about is for applies for tokens that are being launched through factory bot. Karth, I'll pass this off to you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry if that was misleading. So it's part of our security system. It's not what we do. Like it's not our is not what we're doing for our launch, but it's part of our security system to ensure that our fair and stealth launches are unruggable. That 95% of the supply of whatever token they create, at least 95% has to go into liquidity. So that means that the owner can't keep a giant supply for themselves and dump on the chart later. That's not to do with our raise or anything. That was about the safety of the bot.
Oh, thank you. I get it now. I mean, earlier on, I was thinking you were putting 95% of your raise funds into your liquidity pool, and I was like, you raised 70 BNB, so how are you going to be doing that, trying to develop the ecosystem? All right. So another place I'm kind of interested in, first and foremost, kudos on having over 150 members online from 533 members. So, but then I still want to know how you're doing with further community development, because I mean, 533 members more.
All right. So, I mean, in terms of, so we're going to do a lot of AMAs. We have an AMA coming up with Bruiser's calls, and I'm not going to, I mean, divulge everything here, but when you join our Telegram, we'll be updating it there. But we have a lot of AMAs lined up, most of them with the biggest people in the space, biggest influencers, biggest channels in the space. Other than that, we have a lot of other things planned. The usual DEX tools trending. We have CMC, CG, all the usual stuff that you would expect the token to have. We're going to have all of that. So we will be building our community over time through all of this. And other than that, we will allow our utilities to speak for itself. The more people that use the factory bot, the more tokens that get launched through the factory bot, the more publicity we will get automatically. The more the more tokens that get launched, also there will be more notifications to our deployer channel. There'll be more people sharing those around in other telegrams. So the attention will automatically come through the development of the ecosystem itself.
Yeah, just to add a point to that, like you mentioned, we have 100 participants here from basically a 500 member group, and the thing is, because it's all real people. We haven't done any kind of marketing really. It's all organic. We're more focused on having our utilities working at launch. We're more focused on planning for it. We're not focused on pulling in a bunch of people. We don't want to pump it up. We don't want massive amounts of hype. We don't want a giant spike in the chart and then a dump and everyone forgets about us. We want a nice, like, sustainable growth. We definitely aim to be big, but we want it sustained. We want it sustainable. We want to grow at a good rate. We want to have a good community and be able to foster that as we grow and be able to slowly but surely release our utilities in a reasonable fashion.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's lovely. Yeah, of course, I really appreciated you guys for really having a lot of people from the community in your VC and a lot of actually online. It's massive. Like, I love it. And I saw you are having just 1% coming from the buyers and sell tax into the team as per what you'll be paid with. So I'm kind of curious, is 1% from the volume daily actually going to be enough for you guys, or there is some other places you're getting your revenues from?
For the utility,
Payments.
the factory bot?
No. The team payments.
Oh, well, we're all doing this. I mean, obviously, everyone's in this space to make money in some extent, but we're all doing this mainly because we love the project and we love, like, we work together well as a team. We're not outsourcing. We're not like paying other developers and stuff. We're working in-house building this. We don't. We know that will come in time, so we're fine with it being a slow growth on that too. There's not really like a worry of that. In time, that 1% will be more than sustainable.
Okay, but you guys will also be holders of this project, isn't it? You'll be investors.
Yes, and on that note, so the team all bought in. All of our tokens were paid for by ourselves, and that's going to go into our pre-launch market, our funding basically, and / liquidity. And our one private sale that we did was through GemPad Alpha, which I'm hoping this sale really shows off the power of that group, because it's such a great group, a bunch of like legit diamond-handed people, very very interested in the future of projects and very long-term people. So I can tell you that everyone's going to hold that floor. There's you're not going to see a pre-sale dump because there won't be one. We never gave out whitelists. We never gave out any kind of like community buy-ins to our pre-sale. It's all our team and GemPad Alpha.
Yeah, I totally believe you. I believe you because, I mean, what you're trying to offer to this space, if you're not really living by example, I mean, of what use will be this particular ecosystem you're building now. Again, this kind of utility you're putting up, there'll be a lot of, complaints, feedbacks, and I'm kind of curious if you were having a kind of set of people set aside to be receiving the feedback and also to be helping people with whatever their difficulties will be, trying to build the contracts and other things relating to it, or maybe some kind of glitches.
Yeah, we'll definitely have support available. Like if people have issues with it, we can help them solve that. People often reach out to me anyway in DMs and stuff asking about like help with their contracts and stuff, and I just help them. I mean, the thing about our team is we're all very approachable and everyone's very like goal oriented with this, rather than simply profit oriented. We want to make this the best like possible it can be. And so yes, to that extent, like we will be providing, like if people have questions on how to use things, we'll have demo videos, we'll have stuff like that. We'll have some frequently asked questions sheets. If anyone has specific trouble, they can reach out for assistance. And as we grow bigger, I suppose we'll have to have someone on call for those things, but that would be a good problem to have.
Yeah, I mean, we all know how it normally looks like for sometimes for some softwares, you know. All right, thank you for that. And lastly, I mean, you'll be just putting up this particular utility out there for everybody. I mean, at some point, not maybe 80-90% of your community will not really be into control developments and all that, which means you need something to give them to actually, keep the excitement going in the group. So I'm kind of curious if you be first and foremost having a DAO system where, how DAO works, most of the people in your DAO will actually help to, vote towards the development and things that you really need in the community to actually make the community both exciting, and also keep the project going in the right direction.
No, absolutely. Something like that is in the sort of longer term stages, because we do want to do that. And one thing we do want to do, and we're working on the exact specifics and stuff, we want to be able to reward our holders, and not like in a stupid, silly like contract base, like contract rewards type basis. We want to basically set up some form of profit sharing. So the specifics of that are still undecided, but we do want to just let that be known that is going to be profitable to hold Tokerr, regardless of whether you're a dev, regardless of whether you want to use the sniper and stuff like that. You're going to eventually be receiving some aspect of what the project's making. And the DAO could also be like a DAO type system could also be used eventually for determining the validity of like we talked about the rating system for our channel developers of people to make. I mean, eventually we could have sort of a community-based system that rates them, and that was one thing we've talked about.
Yeah, thank you very much for attention, brother. I mean, I still have one technical question, but I'll drop that in your community. Let me give others the space to actually kind of get their confusions cleared. Thanks, Renland, for the opportunity to speak, man.
All right, Sal Hitman, thank you very much for all of your questions. And we are moving on to K-Dot. K-Dot 2, not just K-Dot. Welcome, K-Dot. You may ask your question now.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good day, Renland. And
hello.
Okay, actually, I've been listening for a while. I didn't start from the beginning, but when I came in, a lot of things you said actually made a whole lot of sense, and it got me thinking about going through some of your listed utilities in your light paper. I just want to touch on that. You said that initially that there will be from your light paper that initially there will be like I think 4 utilities that will be seen, like the Tokerr factory bot and the Tokerr buy bot and the sniper bot. But one of the problems that some of us do have. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. You kind of lagged off for a bit, but it's no problem at all. Continue.
Okay, I was talking about your utilities. I said some of the problems is that most users of projects, like I think one of the issues I had when I entered into DeFi in the first stages was when I hear of utilities, I actually don't know how to use it. Like I hear a lot of projects saying they have utilities, this is their use case, and this can do this and this can do that. But you see that most of the majority of the members or the community members, they do not know how to, utilize and take advantage of these use cases. All they do is just buy and hold the token. So how are you guys, going to put, education? Are you guys going to, educate your community members on how to utilize and take advantage of your use cases? That's my first question.
All right. So we have, firstly, our team is always available. We're really approachable, like Kat said earlier. Any questions, we're willing to help out anyone who needs it. Other than that, for education, we're going to have enough content for people. We have a YouTube channel that we just created. So we're going to be putting up and sharing videos on how to use our utilities, whether it's for developers who want to use the factory bot or whether it's a sniper bot. We're going to put up videos on how to use the utilities and more in detail, like if people want to create a certain kind of contract, what they should be doing. And we'll have enough educational videos for like probably everyone to be able to understand and use our utilities. That should not be a problem at all. And we're always available for any questions that anyone might have. Do you want to add anything, Karth?
No, I think you covered it there.
Okay, thanks. Well, you guys said that would be like the four use cases listed on your white paper will be like the initial use cases, which means that, in the future we'll be expecting more. So I don't know if you can shed more light on, some of the utilities that the token might have in the future. If it's okay for you, you can share more light on that.
The thing is, this is what we've put out so far. We are in discussion on a lot of different topics, one of them being actually very huge, and that will be put into motion as we grow as a project. But that's the eventual dream. I don't know if Switcher and Karth want to speak about maybe anything, or do we just keep it under wraps still?
I'd say it's better to keep it under wraps slightly. Leave some things up to imagination.
Yeah, I think that's best.
Okay. Fair enough. So, lastly, my question will be on your buyback system. Will it be announced? Like, do you guys have intentions of, announcing your buyback before, you do it, or is it going to be like a stealth buyback, to keep the community engaged and informed before you do them?
No, it will be a random buyback. The buybacks happen very randomly. What happens is a lot of people tend to use the buyback announcement to dump their tokens. So it's just a waste of money for the buybacks to be done if people are just waiting to dump immediately after the buyback happens. So the buybacks are going to be there will be random buybacks and burns that are just basically it's just about pushing the token. That's all it is. It's not going to be a huge like 500 BNB or like 50 BNB buyback in one shot or something like that. There will be small buybacks and burns all the time with the token, and especially once devs launch enough tokens on Tokerr, 33% or 1/3 of the funds that come in from that 0.5% tax that's there, that bit will be used to again buyback and burn. So there will be small buybacks and burns happening all the time, and they will be random, not announced.
Okay. That's good. Sorry, lastly, about developers building on your platform. I see that, you guys have like a very, very strict, way of scanning, scanning and auditing some of the projects that will be getting built on, your platform. So I think it's actually very, very nice, because that will give a lot of investors out there and a lot of users of your platform, the confidence to believe in your cause. But my major concern is, if peradventure an event happens, because the market is very, very unstable, and we can never tell the direction that the market tends to go to. So what if in a future event whereby I don't know if advices, but in a future event whereby a token that is launched on your platform, or a kind of a project that is launched using your platform, dumps on the investors, will you guys be taking responsibilities, or will you guys be having, I don't know, how are you guys going to handle such a scenario?
It's not possible. Karth, I think you should cover this.
So the thing is we have like guidelines, and like it's impossible for anyone to deploy with us without putting 95% or more of their token supply into liquidity. So they can't dump on their investors. We're not like allowing people to have like 20% holdings and stuff like that and be able to dump on people. So I mean, at most they could dump that 5%, but that is gonna like put a small dip, if anything. The the thing is, it'll be protected. We have all these regulations and stuff that are part of the contract code itself, which prevent people from raising taxes up to a certain point, from changing max transactions, rugging in that way. And like I said, when it first starts, when you first deploy the contract, it locks liquidity immediately. And again, we have a minimum for that too. So at most, communities would know when that minimum is coming to a close and the person hasn't relocked. And I mean, we can't take responsibility for that. That's not really something that could be expected to take responsibility for. So if that project doesn't relock, then people should leave, but they can't rug is the point. They can't scam. We can't really take responsibility for the performance of a project. We can't really take responsibility if those people decide to just kind of harvest their marketing wallet and don't do anything with it. There's like, we can register their IDs and know who they are and rank them poorly on the next ones, but that's the kind of thing that would be out of our control. But again, that's like, if you look at pre-sale platforms and launch pads, they are rather similar, and we go a bit beyond there because our contracts themselves can't be rugged. Our contracts themselves can't be, like, how many pink sale things have been in the news recently, in the crypto news recently, that have rugged on launch or blacklisted their buyers or things like that. Like, that's impossible with our contracts.
Okay, well, fair enough. Anyways, I thank you for answering my questions, and I wish you guys the best. I'll be sending some of, because I have some few questions on regarding the development, like a developer deploying his contract on your platform. But I'll be doing that in the TG. And thank you, Renla, for the opportunity. And thank you guys for answering my questions.
Anytime, man.
All right, thank you very much, K-Dot. And we shall move on to the last question of the AMA. Before we do, Switcher is going to share his screen to show you the bot. So yeah, let's just keep it one question, and then Switcher, the floor is going to be all yours for screen sharing anyway. And the last question of the day will go to Ed, aka the Diamond Ant. So make it count. It better be a good question because you're the last one of this AMA. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my question, the utility.
Ed, you're kind of lagging off, so
Okay.
maybe check your connection if it's not too much trouble.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, should be all good.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, I will say this is a very good and rare utility in this space. So my question is, how will you actually make sure that people use this utility? It's not all about having good utilities, but it is how about creating volumes in those utilities that you have. So apart from marketing, how will you make sure that people use this utility that you have? And also, how will the utility helps in sustaining the token chart?
All right.
So
Yeah. All right. Sorry. So I just wanted to answer this question because I quite can see it happening the way I'm seeing it now. So for our factory bot, you see, we only ask for 0.1 BNB and 0.5% of the volume, which is a low price. But you see what the developers will get in exchange is a lot compared to that value. Firstly, you get a certificate from us that proves that you are 100% safe. It's like an audit. It's like better than an audit. Audit is hard to read sometimes. It's good for big projects, but for their gens, an audit doesn't give more much info. So we give them a certificate. You are 100% safe. We vouch for you. So even when they go to callers or when they are marketing their tokens for investors, our certificate is enough. That's the main point of why they would use the bot. Point number two. We give them free marketing initial push. So all now those scholars ask for a lot of money, starting with from 0.5 and going up. There is some scholars that ask for less, but for 0.1 BNB, except that you are getting that certificate, we'll give you free marketing initial push. You'll get posted on our deployer channel that will have soon hundreds of members. You also will get posted on a second channel with over 2.5k members that that we'll announce soon. Third point, we give them connections. We put them in a private group that we are creating soon with different callers that we give them experience that will maybe even call their token if they are doing good. So we're giving them that audience and connections with some names that they will need in the future. So you see those 3 points are really worth more than 0.1 BNB. I think we could even make it 0.5 and people will still deploy. Developers need this product. Will make their tokens better, will even generate more money to them, will even make them more money. That's the point number one. For the point number two, the sniper will be easy to use, will be really good and efficient, will be necessary for people trading. So you see, when we worked on our utilities, we didn't like do swapping or staking or something that is reused, and nobody really using it. I think like out of the 117 people here, many of you invested in those tokens with swapping or staking utilities, but have you ever used their utility? That's the problem now in BSC. There is utilities, but they are used, they aren't unique, and they aren't really utilities because nobody's using them. But what we focused on when making our utilities and a plan of them they are needed. Even if we don't do marketing, they are needed. That's point number two. People need them. Point number one, people need them. People number two, we will hold weekly and monthly competitions for developers. We call it Tokathon. The developers like pay $10 in Tokerr tokens and burn it, and you are in a weekly competition, like 100 or 50 tokens participating, who is going to be the top number one token, and that token will get some money from us. We'll give them like a big part of the competition profits. They will also get some support from us. We will pin them in our community. So point number two is we are holding competitions for good and competent devs. We are encouraging them, and we also giving them rewards if they work good. It's not if they work good. It's not like a random or some stuff. You do good, you get some nice money burnt on your token. You get some help from us. So summarizing all of this, our utilities are really needed. They are not reused utilities or some stuff. People need them. If people need that utility, people will use it 100% because we are offering them a value of marketing and safety that we push for it more than that 0.1 BNB. It's nothing. It's nothing in return of what developers will get.
Okay, good. And also, my last question: I'm going through your website. During the in the introduction area, I see some misspelling there. So, as a project with great utility and looking to attract customers and to deliver or to give them quality project or product, how will you constantly check errors in the project, or like you can see in the website, there are some errors. So for you to be able to attract a quality project, you have to first of all set example, check errors in place, put things that are meant to be in place in place. So how will you constantly do that to make sure that you keep attracting people to your platform? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question. There is some typos on the website. I'm not aware of that, but we haven't done the final check of the website. We planned it for today at the night. So we're going to look through the website and edit some stuff. It's just kind of like beta website or something like that. We are going to edit it. And we are planning to have a better design, by the way. It's not the final design. We are planning like some days after the launch, or even pre-launch, we have to decide on that. We are planning to have a better design, make it better. For the second question, are we going to constantly like look for those problems? Yes. Everything that is like finalized and out of the beta test, it will be 100% with no errors, no problems. including our bot, including the sniper and the factory bot. So we will be constantly looking for being professional and for having zero mistakes in our token. The website, we know that it's not finalized yet, and the last edit of the website text will be done today. And we have a better design in the next days. I know the design for now isn't that good, but we are going to have a better design in the next days.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, and good luck on your project. I really like this. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Welcome. Ask questions.
All right, Ed, thank you very much. And with that, Switcher, the floor is all yours to screen share the demonstration for the bot.
All right, give me like 20 seconds, so I can just share my.
No problem at all. No problem at all. Take as much time as you need.
All right. So while Switcher's getting set up, I had just a little bit cool news to add in at the end. So I think the Garth and Switcher have already mentioned that all projects launched through Tokerr Factory Bot will get a certificate of safety from Tokerr. So the cool bit is that we're working on making these certificates SBTs or soul-bound tokens. So they will basically be non-transferable NFTs that will be sent directly to the contract that is launched. So they'll never be transferable and always be linked to that contract. So no one can really duplicate them in that sense.
All right. Nice, thanks for adding that banana. So now I'm going to proceed to share my screen and demonstrate the bot.
All right, we are ready.
All right, let's go. Share screen. All right. Can you all see my screen right now?
Yeah, we can see it. We can see it.
All right, let me check something. We are good to start. All right. So the developer that is going to use the bot clicks on start. Then he's getting welcome. He gets his wallet address and he gets his private key. He gets his private key that he will use to deploy the bot. So then he can like start by creating a token. He has now two options. Do you want to give rewards on your token or no? So we will include more options for this at the launch. We have other types of contracts. See? So do you want to give rewards in your token? So if I choose no, for example, then you have this set of options, set of parameters to define. Let's say the developer chooses to have rewards in his token. Then there is 3 new buttons. The reward token, which is set to WBNB in default, but the dev can change that to any other token he wants. And he also gets new inputs for the reward buy tax and the reward sell tax. But now, just to make it shorter, we are going to have no rewards, so we can do this faster. Anyway, so here for the token name, you set your token name, let's say Switcher, whatever, just anything. All right. The token symbol, let's say test. All right. So for the total supply, let's say 10,000 or whatever. So they are easy to use. It's easy menu. So here for the marketing by tax, so you enter the marketing by tax, everything's set, let's say 5. So here's something I want to point out. The total by taxes shouldn't be more than 15%. The same for the marketing sell tax. But here in testnet, we did 25 because it's just testnet. So let's say, for example, I type 20 here for the liquidity, or let's say, yeah, I type 20 for the liquidity, and then I come here to the team by tax and type 5. So 30 total taxes. It will tell you the total by tax shouldn't exceed 25%. But again, this is just for the testnet, later to be 15. We are just testing now. So you see, it tells you to type it again. It won't like let him do more than 15% of the main net. So here I'm going to keep it 0. I'm going to keep it 0 so I don't pass the maximum buy tax. Then for the marketing sell tax, we're gonna do the same. Please enter the token marketing sale tax. Make sure the total sale, yeah. So that will be changed to 15 liter, as we said, when we deploy the mainnet version. Now the liquidity sale tax and the team sale tax. All right. So max transaction here, it should be minimum 0.5%. And we will set a maximum max transaction as well on the mainnet. As I said, this is just testnet version, and everything can be changed in half an hour when we are on the mainnet. So here, let's say the max transaction is 1. So for the max wallet, let's say if a dev is being shady or something and tries to set 0.1, no, please write a correct positive number that is bigger or equal to 0.5. So so the minimum is 0.5, and it won't let you set anything lesser than that. So for the ownership address now, he types the address that he wants to get the contract ownership on. Hold on, let me get an address. All right, so let me get any address. All right, so here, let's say this, marketing wallet team. You can like even do 4 different wallets. All right, team address, and for the percentage of tokens into liquidity pool. So here the dev, he or she chooses how much they want to add to liquidity pool. What's the percentage of tokens that will go to the liquidity pool, not the BNB, the tokens. So let's say I type 90. Let's say I type 90. It will tell you it have to be more than 15%. You see, so it won't be set correctly if it will tell you no, we are not going to set that for you. So yeah, 95 here minimum. All right, so done. Then it will ask you how much do you want. It types the data that you've chosen, so you can check again. How much do you want to add into? Okay, something I forgot to go to show is hold on. Yeah, the liquidity lock time. Something I forgot to show, which will be minimum 1 day. 1 day. It will be default. I just didn't choose it. But if you don't choose it, the default will be 1 day. If you type like 0 day, it won't work. It will keep the 1 as a default. You see. So we make our tokens unlockable. The liquidity lock time will be minimum 1 day. Less than that, you can't lock it. You can't even deploy. It will tell you it's correct. So for the liquidity pool now, it will ask you how much you want to add to the liquidity pool. So let's say I want to add anything, 0.05 just for testing. Now it will tell you, please send this amount to what to cover the cost. Now for the testnet, the deploying costs are 0.01. We do that just to make it easier for us. The mainnet, the costs will be like this: 0.1 for that will go to Tokerr, plus the LP you want to add, plus the deploying fees. This calculated on testnet. It will be different on mainnet. So it's automatically calculated. So now I will just go and send some money to my wallet on testnet. So I am going to send some money to my wallet on testnet. Let's say 0.5 or anything. Yo, don't try to see the private key. It's just the testnet. Anyway, all right. So waiting for it to be confirmed. I sent some money. All right. Pending. Wait for it to be confirmed. Okay, the confirmation is done. You're good to go. So all good. Deploy for me. All right. So now the contract is being deployed. Waiting for the transaction to be confirmed. All right. So the contract is deployed, and now it will be sending us certificate that our token is safe. It's automatically delivered to us. You see? You have the contract, the name, and even the date. Let's see the Tokerr deployer channel. What was the name again? Tokerr deployer channel, you see? And it was automatically sent. The deployer ID will add also the username here, then the token name, the contract, the buy tax, the sell tax, the initial LP we set, the links here. The certificate was automatically sent. We'll also add the other AMP for the dev set. This is just for testing, as I said. So everything the dev did will be automatically sent here. everything the dev did will be automatically sent here. We'll add some info, and you get the Pokémon link, the BS scan link, and the PancakeSwap link to do it, to just find links faster and easier for you. I hope that was a good explanation and a good demonstration for the bot. So it's easy. The dev sets the token parameters he wants to do. Then he deploys. The bot checks everything. If everything is correct, then the bot deploys. Then he gets a certificate. Then all the token info is sent on our channel automatically. Everything is done automatically. Nothing manual. The dev sets it, and everything is sent manually. Yeah, that's good. So let me.
Yeah, go get it. All right, so I just wanted to say an amazing demonstration. It was a fairly, straightforward process. So thank you very much for sharing that. So we all get a feel of how it looks like. I especially like that, it links you the certificate instantly and it goes to the deployer channel bot as well. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah, one thing Banana did touch on earlier is that it links that certificate instantly. And one thing we are working on is to have a non-transferable, negotiable NFT deployed to that contract, so you can check our main Tokerr NFT certificate contract and confirm that in fact it is a Tokerr contract and not a copy.
All right, that is perfect. Now, before we do conclude the AMA, we just want to share with our community and also the community, because they're also here, that we are officially, as of now, we are partnered with Tokerr. So yeah, amazing news. We're also going to be sharing the announcement as soon as the AMA ends. So we're going to keep the channel muted so you can kind of see everything it has to offer. They will also be using our GemPad lockers for the tokens that are launched with the factory bot. And are also working on having the option of creating a GemPad sale directly through the factory bot. So amazing news. Thank you very much, guys. We are so much looking forward to the cooperation as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having us. Thank you guys for taking this time to have us and listening to us. And we're very glad to take all your questions and help you guys out with whatever you wanted to know. And we're very excited for the GemPad partnership.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I see some people still had their hands up, so feel free to ask your questions in our main TG and we can address them there. Thank you very much, GemPad.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for answering all of the questions, giving even more clarity that we had before. So yeah, appreciate the transparency. It was amazing. You guys are an amazing speakers, and I hope you have an amazing day as well.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Enjoy. Bye.